What happened at Claressa Shields' baby shower was not a celebration, but a battlefield. So ladies and gentlemen, get your baby bottles and hide. You've heard the stories, of course, but trust me when I tell you that the truth is worse. What occurs when a bitter ex-partner, dressed all in white, comes up at your baby shower without being invited, acting as though she is the one who is expecting? What happens if that ex happens to be Remy Ma, who has a petty streak longer than a CVS receipt, years of unresolved trauma, and an attitude? The man caught in the midst is none other than Mr. So things get better. This is baby Armageddon, not simply baby mother turmoil. The controversy is only getting started, so stay tuned. It was meant to be a joyful occasion. The two-time Olympic gold medal boxing champion and soon-to-be mother, Claressa Shields, looked radiant in pink chiffon. However, did Papoose actually smack Remy in front of the guests, caterers, and a boxing glove-shaped gender reveal cake? Why did security rush her out with her frock covered in icing and tears in her eyes? Who also released the now-viral video? A-list guests arrived to celebrate new life, and there were rose gold gift tables, a bespoke Shields baby cake shaped like a championship belt, and matching mocktails. It was the season's biggest baby shower. But as soon as Remy Ma showed everything went wrong. To be clear, Remy was not invited. She was not included in the group chat or guest list. And a leaked text from Claressa's cousin stated that she was deliberately excluded from the event after a heated altercation in a nail salon 2 weeks prior. No, this woman wasn't welcome, as Remy allegedly tossed a whole acrylic nail display at the Brooklyn receptionist. But when did she ever quit because of that? I brought heels. Guests stopped talking in the middle of sentences. And in a now-viral video clip shared by Celeb T Backup 2, Remy appeared to be running from TMZ. She arrived wearing a tight white designer gown that was the exact shade Claressa was wearing, large black sunglasses, and an attitude-filled gait that said, "I'm here to ruin everything." "You must be kidding me," Claressa mutters to herself as she looks up from her kingdom of satin cushions. But let's take a step back and wonder why Remy would even appear. He waited for her during her prison sentence, held her down, and stood up for her when no one else would. She and Papoose were once the ride or die fairy tale. But now that he relocated, that love tale has been shattered into a million sparkly bits of baby shower confetti. This isn't over. "I'm not going to let that baby be the headline," claimed an unidentified friend hairstylist who requested to be dubbed Peaches. Claressa Shields went from being my lady to eternally my fist fighting. Baby mom and Remy wasn't just upset, she was embarrassed. Losing your partner to a younger, wealthier, unbeaten boxing champion is a completely different trauma. Well, insiders say Remy spiraled. She was throwing things, crying, and screaming into voice notes. Claressa claimed when she revealed her pregnancy last month, uninvited, unbothered, and unhinged. She was navigating a throng of influencers and bet executives as though it were her bridal shower. She just moved to the front and stood close to the stage where Tank was getting ready to perform. Without even glancing at Claressa or nodding to Papoose, everything went awry at that time. Witnesses said that Papoose, who had been near the DJ booth, turned around and froze, tightening his jaw and dropping the little cupcake he was carrying. One caterer said his entire vibe changed. Moving from laid back to DEFCON 1 and 0. She allegedly said, "Go ahead, Pap, make a scene like you always do right before you crawl back." Then, in an unexpected turn of events, everyone's cameras managed to capture Papoose smiling in his face and elevating his hand, as if this were a TikTok trick. According to Blog Queen NYC, he rushed over 2 seconds later, took Remy by the wrist, and said, "You've got 5 seconds to leave before I make TMZ richer," which has now been the week's most popular remark on Twitter. The room became quiet when he smacked Remy Ma across the face. Claressa sat there in utter disbelief, covering her tummy with both hands, like she was in a battle ring, while the DJ switched off the music. As we speak, TikTok is using the sound of the smack as an audio remix. Security rushed in, didn't move. And worst of all, Remy didn't even flinch. Instead, she just gazed at Papoose. One visitor shouted, another started to pray, and a third allegedly said, "Not the baby energy, Remy." Part 1 ends there, my friends, because what comes next makes the slap seem like foreplay. "You really just did that in front of her, in front of your new family?" they said. We explore the aftermath, the audio leak, and the unnamed person who says Claressa orchestrated the entire incident in Part 2. Is the slap staged? Yes, you heard me right. Let's investigate further. The crowd was astonished to learn that the slap represented years of unsaid anger, betrayal, and heartache, all combined into one physical blow. An open-handed incident left everyone at the baby shower stunned. But just when you thought the drama had peaked, it got worse. Phones were out and cameras were shooting within 16 minutes. And by 30 minutes, 3 distinct slap perspectives were quickly going viral online. When your baby daddy slaps his ex at your baby's shower, skull broken, heart balloon. Someone wrote as the dramatic piano music caption for a TikTok. Claressa's shield seemed to have been hit by a metaphorical uppercut. Yet in less than an hour, there were more than 1 million views. The woman was wearing a capital C mascara, makeup, and a special maternity sash that hung off her shoulder like it had gone through battle, and she was sobbing, not crying. Not sniffling out of utter public shame, not because of Remy or Papoose. Remy snatched up the microphone just as security believed they had everything under control. Her cheeks were still scarlet from the smack, and yes, the microphone. She continued, "I just want everyone to know I came here," as she walked up to the stage where Tank had entirely disappeared. Perhaps hiding in the bathroom. Let's break it down. Angel Dove Papoose had communicated with Remy in the previous week, but not for romantic reasons, according to an unnamed person who says they are part of Claressa's glam squad but wish to be left unknown. "Last week he contacted me." The visitors raced to the stage, gasping as if they were seeing a soap opera's season finale, but her heels became caught in the baby blue carpet. Near the mimosa fountain, someone passed out, and Papoose seemed to have momentarily lost his soul. I see now that the texts were about finding closure and moving on before the baby was born. But attempting to use glitter to put out a home fire is like trying to find closure with Remy Ma. At this point, everything started to go south. A voice message that was allegedly leaked from Claressa herself began to circulate hours after the smack. She was in a private group chat with 2 brand managers, her assistant, and her boxing coach. A lady who sounds a lot like Claressa is heard in the video saying, "If she shows up, let her. I need the world to see who he really is." There's no way someone slapped Remy Ma on camera and the lighting was perfect. This was a Netflix doc waiting to happen, according to a popular tweet. Did Claressa know Remy might crash the party? Did she want the drama? Was the entire event decorated with soft baby colors and vegan cupcakes actually a setup? The internet went crazy when #Remy versus Claressa trended on Twitter within hours. People were analyzing every second of the slap footage like it was a JFK assassination tape. Was it staged? Was Papoose mic'd up? Was the camera quality too good? Also, another video that appeared from outside the venue claims that Remy said, "Ain't no shower without thunder," when asked if she had any last remarks. To a small crowd that had gathered outside, it depicted security escorting her out with a sneer and a great degree of indifference. TikTok merchandise hustlers have already emblazoned it on coffee mugs and t-shirts, but no one is even sure what it means. Let's now discuss Papoose, who has completely stopped talking. He just has a blank profile picture. He doesn't have an Instagram story, live stream, or cryptic words. His most recent post was, and the phrase "can't wait" is accompanied by a sweet image of Claressa holding baby shoes. There are many fire symbols and clown emojis, but guess who went live? Remy Ma's longtime friend and mentor, Fat Joe, made an unexpected appearance on Instagram Live while sitting in a poorly lit room wearing sunglasses and mumbling. Fans go nuts when individuals forget who is really in charge of the microphone. Is Fat Joe endorsing Remy in this way? Is he teasing a diss tune, a tell-all, or a documentary? Remy is reported lippering for a red table talk, according to a number of blogs. Claressa's team has reportedly called a lawyer claiming emotional anguish, public slander, and disturbance of a private gathering, according to the gossip portal. A restraining order against Remy Ma is being discussed, albeit this has not been verified. This has already generated discussion on the internet. One group of Instagram users is saying things like, Remy had no business showing up. You don't bring prison vibes to a baby shower. While the other, we had no involvement in the incident and were unaware of the guests' personal relationships. The venue, the awful event space in Jersey City, wrote in a Yelp comment after Papoose took both of these women on a journey for which he deserved to be exposed. Too late, their Google reviews have been spammed with 0 stars. Great for weddings, terrible for slaps, the venue wrote. The best part of part 2 is this. Someone recorded Remy on the phone as she was being taken off in a black SUV. She may be heard stating, "Eyes." There are more texts, more lies, and possibly more violence because guess what leaked next? Unreleased text thread between Papoose and Remy that might just reveal the real father of Claressa's baby is still up in the air. You would think that after the slap, mic, snatch, and leaked voice notes, this whole circus would have come to an end. But no, there was one last shocking turn of events, and the internet was already in flames. Part 2 is going to be painful if I have to be the one to tell her the truth. Papoose vanished completely, no posts, interviews, or live streams, and just when things appeared to be settling down, a private iCloud backup was leaked. Yes, screenshots of a full text thread between Papoose and Remy Ma that was dated just 3 weeks prior to the baby shower were posted online, and in one of them, Papoose allegedly wrote, "I still think about you every night." There was also footage of Remy Ma being pulled out by security as if she were trying out for the baby edition of Bad Girls Club. And Claressa was reportedly sedated and crying in the bridal suite. Even as I stood next to her, fans went utterly crazy. The timeline was flooded with memes, one of which included a split image of Claressa clutching her baby bulge and Remy holding a microphone with the caption, "Who's really carrying the weight?" But wait, things get worse. That baby might not even be mine. I'll repeat again. One letter reads, "I know that baby might not even be mine, and you do too." It was more than just a smack. Everything altered immediately, as individuals started comparing images, bringing up timelines, and making charts as though they were doing whole FBI investigations. Twitter turned into a battleground. Some even observed that Claressa had simply expressed her gratitude for becoming pregnant and never revealed the exact moment of her pregnancy. Guess who stoked the flames? The term "Papoose needs a DNA test" was the second most popular trending phrase in the globe. Yesterday, Remy Ma broadcast live from a poorly lit room, wearing a sweatshirt and without makeup. She went live to 95,000 people with her phone at the customary 30 awkward angle. Then she said, "Everyone wants to paint me as the villain and the bitter ex. But let me ask you this. What would you do if the man you sacrificed your life for tried to play house with someone else, while still sending you texts saying, 'I miss you'?" She pulled out receipts and held up actual printed screenshots to the camera. And I didn't crash at all. She didn't hold back and started drinking tea calmly from a mug that read, "Booked and unbothered." The bombshell Remy revealed that Papoose had been unsure of the father's identity from the start. "And I stepped into a world that someone had tried to remake without me. In February, he informed me, I need a test because I can't trust anybody. Now that I'm the weird one, the comment area became absolutely blank, and Remy really opened up. Hold on, The slap makes sense because Papoose asked Claressa if she was expecting a child, now that Remy had evidence not just feelings. But something even more ridiculous, a phony Maury edit that included Papoose footage superimposed over Maury Povich, went viral, while Claressa was racing backstage. Her camp went dark, and there were no motivational sayings, Instagram stories, or boxing promo postings. You are not the father. Be careful when you try to expose someone holding TNT, because now everyone burns. Claressa's management then abruptly released an enigmatic narrative. But what is she doing today? Is she making the receipts herself? Is a full-fledged baby mother? Cold War on the horizon. Legal sources, such as the ones we created for this video, are asserting in the meanwhile that Remy will not be deterred by the possibility of a restraining order, a defamation lawsuit, or even a trespassing action. You only file charges when you lose control. Yikes. She shared a photo of herself standing in front of a mirror a day later. Not to be overlooked is Papoose, the man in the middle who allegedly slapped his ex-wife, kissed his fiancée, and questioned his own unborn child. Everyone knew what he meant when he uploaded a black square with no comments or caption. Guilt.reputation. He posted a blackout post as if it were 2020 again. Another person remarked. The internet went into a collective faint, and now blogs are speculating that Claressa might end the relationship entirely. Boy, go get that DNA test. The most shocking development of all was probably a security camera clip that was leaked. It was 9 seconds long, grainy, but clear enough, and allegedly showed Claressa throwing her baby shower tiara across the room and screaming that he slapped her. For nothing if he still didn't know who the father is. The ether of baby mamas is. A new freestyle that Remy Ma has announced will be released this Friday, according to sources. Fans have already speculated that it will be a diss track that targets both Papoose and Claressa, and the comments beneath the teaser suggest that she is about to wrap up the DNA test results and the beat is better than Papoose. Just when you thought that was the end, a final rumor appeared in the timeline, stating that someone close to her is Remy, Papoose, and Claressa's unfiltered slap that rocked the crib, a baby shower turned boxing ring. A slap that echoed louder, then a Grammy performance and a love triangle so messy it requires its own cleaning crew. There you have it, people. But the real question is, who do you think Remy Ma was, a woman finally losing it after months of deceit or a bitter ex-seeking? Chaos. What do you think the slap was worth? Should Remy release the diss track? Should Claressa demand a DNA test? Should Papoose simply delete Instagram and go live in the mountains? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. This is far from over, and you already know we're digging up the next set of receipts. So hit the like button, subscribe to stay ahead of the mess, and hit the notification bell because you'll want front row seats when part 2 of this drama hits .chairs. In this celebrity tycoon, where the tea is poisoned and the drama is fantastic, and we are constantly smacked.